If you have bad credit and you've been turned down for traditional financing, someone has probably told you to just go to a buy here, pay here lot. Maybe you've already been to one. Maybe you're thinking about it. Maybe you're not sure what it even means. Buy here, pay. Here's a real option for some people in some situations. But it is also one of the most misunderstood parts of the car business, and one where bad credit buyers can end up in deals that make their situation significantly worse instead of better. I'm Gary, the bad credit car guy, 26 years as a general manager of an independent used car dealership. I've watched thousands of customers go through the buy here, pay here experience, the good outcomes and the bad ones. In this video, I'm going to give you the straight truth about what buy here, pay here actually is, how it works, what it costs you, when it makes sense, and when to walk away. Let me start with what buy here, pay here actually means, because a lot of people don't fully understand the model. In a traditional car dealership, the dealer sells you the vehicle and a third-party lender, a bank, credit union, or finance company, provides the loan. The lender gives the dealer their money up front, and then you make your monthly payments directly to the lender. Buy here, pay here works completely differently. At a BHPH dealership, the dealer sells you the vehicle and finances the loan themselves. There is no outside lender. The dealer is the bank. You make your payments directly to the dealership, often weekly or bi-weekly rather than monthly, sometimes in person, sometimes online. This is why it's called buy here, pay here. You buy the car there and you pay the car there. The reason this matters for bad credit buyers is that BHPH dealers don't use traditional credit approval. Because they're lending their own money, they set their own approval criteria. Most BHPH dealers don't even pull your traditional credit report. Or if they do, they weight it very lightly. Instead, they focus on your income, your down payment, and your stability. Time at your job, time at your residence, how long you've been in the area. This is why BHPH can approve buyers that traditional lenders won't touch. There's no outside lender with minimum score requirements. The dealer decides. And if your income is solid and your down payment is strong enough, many BHPH dealers will approve you regardless of what your credit score says. That sounds great, but here's where it gets complicated. Let me give you the honest picture of what buy here, pay here actually costs you, because the approval flexibility comes with significant trade-offs. Interest rates. Buy here, pay here interest rates are almost always higher than even subprime traditional financing. In most states, BHPH dealers can charge whatever rate they want, and rates of 25, 30, even 35% are common. In some states, rates go even higher. On a $10,000 vehicle at 30% APR over 36 months, you're paying over $5,000 in interest on top of the purchase price. V-high Heil Selectime. BHPH dealers typically have a limited inventory of older, higher mileage vehicles, often in the $8,000 to $12,000 range. You're not going to find a 3-year-old vehicle with low miles at most BHPH lots. The vehicles tend to be older, with more miles, and potentially more maintenance needs. BHEOR weekly payments. Most BHPH dealers collect payments weekly or bi-weekly rather than monthly. This can be a budget adjustment for buyers used to monthly bills. Missing even one weekly payment can trigger collection activity faster than at a traditional lender. Starter interrupt devices. Many BHPH dealers install what's called a starter interrupt device or GPS tracker on the vehicle. If you miss a payment, the dealer can remotely disable the vehicle's starter, meaning the car won't start until you bring the payment current. Some buyers don't know this is in the vehicle until it happens. Ask about this up front before you buy. Credit reporting. Here's one of the biggest issues with buy here, pay here, and one most buyers never think about. Many BHPH dealers do not report your payments to the credit bureaus. That means if you make every single payment on time for 2 years, you get no credit building benefit. You've been paying faithfully, and your credit score hasn't moved at all. Some BHPH dealers do report, but many don't. Ask this question directly before you sign anything. Down payment. BHPH dealers typically require a significant down payment, often 15 to 30% of the vehicle price. The down payment is their primary protection since they're lending their own money. I want to spend a minute on the credit reporting issue because it's the one that I see hurt buyers the most in the long run. When you get a traditional subprime auto loan, even at a high interest rate, and you make every payment on time, that positive payment history gets reported to the credit bureaus every month. After 12 to 24 months of on-time payments, your score moves. You're building toward a better rate on your next loan. The high interest rate loan becomes a stepping stone to better financing. When you get a BHPH loan at a dealer who doesn't report to the bureaus, and you make every payment on time for 2 years, nothing changes on your credit report. You've spent 2 years paying high interest rates, and you're in exactly the same credit position you were in when you started. The vehicle got you to work. That has real value. But the loan didn't do anything for your credit. And when it's time to buy your next vehicle, you're starting from scratch. This is why I always tell buyers, before you sign anything at a BHPH dealer, ask them directly, do you report payments to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion? Get the answer in writing if possible. If they don't report, factor that into your decision. I've been giving you a lot of reasons to be cautious about buy here, pay here, and you should be cautious. But I want to be fair about this. There are situations where BHPH is the right answer. If you have a very recent repossession within the last 6 to 12 months, and traditional subprime lenders won't approve you, BHPH may be your only option to get into a vehicle right now. If you need transportation to get to work and your income is stable, getting a vehicle today at a high rate beats not having transportation at all. If your credit profile is so challenged that no traditional subprime lender will approve your deal, BHPH gives you an option. It's not a great option in terms of cost, but it's an option. If you find a BHPH dealer who does report to the credit bureaus, that changes the calculation significantly. If you're paying anyway and the payments are being reported, you're building credit at the same time. If the vehicle is priced fairly, the rate is disclosed clearly, and the dealer is transparent about all the terms. A BHPH deal done with eyes wide open is better than no deal at all for someone who genuinely needs transportation. Here's the key principle. Buy here, pay. Here should be a last resort, not a first stop. Try traditional subprime financing first. Talk to an independent dealer who works with multiple subprime lenders. Exhaust those options. If they don't work, then consider BHPH. And if you do go BHPH, go in with full knowledge of what it costs and what it does and doesn't do for your credit. If you decide to go the buy here, pay here route, here are the specific questions you need to ask before you sign anything. Do you report payments to the 3 credit bureaus? Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. This is the most important question. Get a direct yes or no. What is the interest rate on this loan? They must disclose the APR. Get the exact number. Don't accept a weekly payment figure without knowing the annualized rate. Is there a starter interrupt device or GPS tracker on this vehicle? Ask directly. You have a right to know what's on the vehicle you're buying. What happens if I miss a payment? Understand the exact process, how quickly they escalate, what fees are involved, and what your options are. What is the total amount I will pay over the life of this loan? Add up the total payments and make sure you understand the full cost, not just the weekly payment. Is there a warranty on this vehicle? Many BHPH vehicles are sold as is with no warranty. Understand exactly what you're buying. Can I see the vehicle history report? Ask for a Carfax or auto check report. Know the history of the vehicle before you buy it. These questions protect you. A legitimate BHPH dealer will answer all of them. If a dealer gets evasive or pressures you to sign without answering, walk away. Buy here, pay. Here is a tool. Like any tool, it can help you or hurt you depending on how you use it and whether you understand what you're working with. Go in informed. Ask the right questions. Understand what it costs and what it does and doesn't do for your credit. And exhaust your traditional subprime financing options first. I'm Gary, the bad credit card guy. 26 years in this business. I've seen BHPH done well and I've seen it done badly. The difference almost always comes down to whether the buyer understood what they were getting into before they signed. Now you do. Grab the free guide in the description, the 7 things dealers check beyond your credit score. And if you haven't watched my video on finding the right dealership, that's a great companion to this one. Link is below. Subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Drop your questions in the comments. I read every one. I'll see you in the next one.